Hey there, I'm Tracy, and this is the second of my videos on growth. The first one in the first one I spoke about different ways that we block our growth. And just as a recap, those things could be anything from substance abuse, eating loads of junk food and being addicted to sugar, being involved in toxic relationships, or loads of drama in your life with friends, colleagues, family members. Could be things like overworking, doing too much, never being able to say no. And in all of those cases, what we do is we fill our bodies and we fill our minds with different distractions so that we're not completely available to either start to be clear about what is my purpose for being here on the earth. And after that, even if we do know that, we then block our path to starting to walk in that direction toward making our purpose a reality. And there are loads of reasons why people might be afraid to make their soul's purpose a reality. But today I'm going to share with you 5 different ways that I have found are really useful to start to call in growth into my own life. And I hope that these are useful to you. So 5 different tools that you can use to bring growth more presently into your world right now. The first one is acceptance. And with this one, the idea is that you accept where you are at right now. Get really clear about what is going on for you. So if you're using any of those things that I just mentioned in the last video to block your growth or to distract you, if you're doing too much for other people, you need to accept this is a thing I do. Not make excuses for yourself over and over, which is a thing that those who like to distract themselves with busyness like to do. We like to justify ourselves. If you're serious about wanting growth, get real about it and really take the time to zero in on how do I distract myself? What is it in my life that's stopping me from being clear about where I want to go and then actually taking the steps to get there? And when I say accept what's happening, if you are a person who comes home and boozes on a bottle of wine every night and that's why you're not starting to move toward more of a growth path, what I'm saying is not accept that I love drinking booze and just keep on drinking booze. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but you're not going anywhere anytime fast if you're doing that. If you're in a toxic relationship that's abusive, I'm certainly not suggesting that you just go, well, I accept this is where I'm at and so I'm stuck here. The important part of acceptance is to be clear. That's what I'm saying. So the important bit about being in any of these situations in order to invite growth is to really take stock and be very, very clear about where you are at. What do you need to get out of that situation? How have you got there? How can you ask for some assistance? What would it be like to be somewhere else? But at the end of the day, being real and being clear and being very candid and truthful about where you are at right now and not making excuses for yourself or for anybody else in your life as to the reasons why you're there is, I guess, the first important step in being able to move yourself away from that place and into more of a growthful place in your life. The second tip and tool that I would suggest for anybody who is interested in starting to grow a little bit further in their lives is a kind and compassionate stance toward yourself. It's often very easy to be kind and generous to other people in the way that we think and speak. But I would advise you, if you would like to grow, the best thing you can do for yourself is to be kind and sweet and generous to you. There are so many people in the world who are happy to cut any of us down with their words or their behavior. So the best thing you can do to start to move yourself forward is to be kind. as you move forward, you're going to stumble. You're not going to be the best guitar player when you start playing guitar. You're not going to be the best runner when you decide to start running. So give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, and be nice, And instead of saying things like, oh, I'm just learning, say, yeah, I'm learning. And it's just these tiny ways that we speak about things and that we use our words and we carry ourselves can make such a difference in the way that we feel about ourselves. So please be kind and be compassionate, be loving to yourself as you move forward. The next tool that I think is of great importance if you're on a growth path is to be curious. And so what curiosity offers is that instead of the certainty that you have when you're not growing or going anywhere, curiosity starts to open little windows and doors that you can just have a peek into to make a decision of whether you maybe want to go down that road there, or maybe that one there, or maybe none of those. And so how that looks for me is, there was a time in my life when I was certain that I was a mum, I was a partner, I was a chiropractor, I used to play the violin, I went to festivals, this was my identity, this was very clear about me, and I was certain about those things. And then one day my partner left my home, and I was kind of floundering for many months, wondering who the hell am I now? And while I clung onto the certainty that, hey, I am supposed to be someone's partner, I am supposed to be in this marriage, it was very hard for me to move forward. And once I heard about the idea of curiosity, I started to get a little bit interested in the mystery of, well, if I'm not that, because it looks like actually I'm not that anymore, who am I? What does that look like? What might be on the other side of this for me? What else is out there for me? And I wasn't ready to move on, but I certainly realized that I couldn't sit still in one place, acting with complete certainty that I knew exactly what was meant to be, because what life was showing me is that I actually didn't have any idea what was meant to be, because it wasn't. So being curious is a really great tool, and just to keep asking questions about what would it be like if I did this, or what would I feel like if I tried that, is a really awesome way to start to uncover what you like, what you don't like, where you feel you should be growing, what direction you definitely don't want to grow toward. So curiosity is really important. And then along with curiosity, I think another great tool is to step out of your comfort zone. That doesn't necessarily mean going to the gym to make new friends, or, joining a parents group. They're not the only ways, and I know that they're the ones that self-help books and groups and anybody in that area likes to spout. But there's a million ways, just doing very quiet, personal little things to find out whether this new thing interests you or not is a really great way to get out of your comfort zone. So something that I've done in the past to get out of my comfort zone is to start wearing really bright clothes. I used to always wear black. And then at some point in my life, I decided, I wonder what it would feel like for me to wear really bright clothes. Like, I just want to see who I am if I'm wearing bright florals. And I liked it. There was another time in my life where I was wearing sparkly hot pants to work on a regular basis because I wanted to see what that felt like. And that's a whole other story, but that also worked out well for me. You might decide to step out of your comfort zone by going for a walk in the winter mornings, or doing Wim Hof breathing, or you might decide that you want to go and go to a music festival if that's something that you don't usually do, or take your family camping if that's something that you don't usually do. These things don't have to be huge commitments. You can go for an hour. If you hate it, you can turn around and come home. But always trying new things just for you, just to see if this floats your boat or not. I think getting out of your comfort zone is a really useful way to work out how you want to grow. And the last thing that I'd like to share with you that has been one of my biggest and most amazing tools for growth is asking for change. So for me, I believe that there's something bigger than me out there in the cosmos. In fact, all around all of us, but it doesn't really matter what I believe. I also believe that I am hugely powerful and that every one of us has a huge amount of power. So a thing that I started to do maybe 3 years ago was to meditate every day on the mantra that said, give me all that is mine. That's my mantra, and I still use it. So every day I meditate, give me all that is mine, give me all that is mine, give me all that is mine. And what that means to me is not just give me happy times and ice cream and sparkly jewelry and a happy face. What that means for me is give me everything. If I need to fall and trip or have a health problem or lose someone important to me or have a crisis in some way in order to understand myself better and grow beyond that so that I can serve my immediate family and friends and community better, and so that I can be a happier and better human being over the long term, I will accept that. I mean, really, I have no choice anyway. So I realized that it might actually be in my interests to step forward every single day and ask to be given what is due to me in order to grow me. And so far it's been working out pretty well for me. And that's a way that I think we can ask for change and meet growth as it comes for us. There are a million different ways that you could do this. Prayer, intention setting, vision boards, all of these things. But I think a daily practice of looking over what you are hoping to achieve through change and growth in your life, if you know what that is. And if you don't know what that looks like, a daily practice of asking to be shown what that looks like, I think is a really beautiful way to stay open to growth for yourself, for now and for the future. I hope all of this has been useful to you. If you have any thoughts about growth, I would welcome them. Please share them with me. Loads of love to you.